My wife said she's too good for me and wants a divorce. I said okay and had her served at her birthday party. Now she's crying that I ruined everything at Chasterisk. I never thought I'd be writing this, but I need to get this off my chest. My wife just told me she wants a divorce because she's evolved past our marriage, and I'm holding her back. Original post I-34M have been married to Sarah, 32F, for 8 years. We met in college, got married young, and I thought we had a good life together. I work in it, she's in marketing. No kids yet because she wanted to focus on her career first, which I supported. About 6 months ago, Sarah got a big promotion at work. Started making more money than me, which honestly didn't bother me at all. I was proud of her. But something changed after that. She started going out more with her work friends, coming home late, and making little comments about our house being too small and my car being embarrassing. Last month, she sat me down and said she needed to talk. She told me she's been doing a lot of self-reflection and realized she's outgrown our marriage. Said she's at a different level now and needs someone who matches her ambition and lifestyle. She actually used the words "I'm too good for you now" while explaining why she wants a divorce. I just sat there, stunned. Asked if there was someone else. She laughed and said, "Not yet, but there will be. Men at my level are interested." I said, "Okay." She seemed surprised I didn't fight or beg. It told me we could do this the easy way or the hard way and started listing demands. She wants the house, half my 401k, alimony, the works. I just kept saying okay to everything while she talked. What Sarah doesn't know is that my boring IT job is at a startup that just got acquired. My equity vests next month, and it's worth about $2.8 million after taxes. She also doesn't know that I inherited my grandmother's house last year, worth $500k, which I've been renting out. I never told her about either because she never seemed interested in my work beyond my salary, and the inheritance came right when she started acting different. I hired a lawyer the next day. The best divorce attorney in our city, actually. Turns out in our state, inheritance and unvested equity from before the marriage aren't marital property. My lawyer also found some interesting posts on her social media about her work husband, Brad. Her 33rd birthday party was last weekend. She invited all her work friends to our house to celebrate. About 30 people there, including Brad. Right in the middle of her toast about entering her best year yet, a process server walked in and handed her the divorce papers. The look on her face was priceless. She went from confused to angry to panicked in about 10 seconds. Started screaming at me in front of everyone, calling me pathetic and saying I couldn't even let her have her birthday. I just sipped my beer and said, "You wanted this divorce, remember? I'm just giving you what you asked for." She tried to pull me aside, but I walked out. Been staying at my rental property since then. My phone is blowing up with texts from her ranging from "How could you do this to me?" to "We need to talk about this like adults" to "I didn't mean it, I was just stressed." Her mom called me yesterday saying Sarah has been crying nonstop and I need to come home and fix this. Apparently, Sarah told her family I asked for the divorce out of nowhere. When I explained what actually happened, her mom got real quiet and just said, "Oh, Sarah," before hanging up. The best part? Brad's wife was at the party too. She didn't know about the work husband posts until Sarah's meltdown made her curious. I hear she's getting a divorce lawyer now too. I'm not gonna lie, part of me feels bad. But mostly I'm just relieved. I've been walking on eggshells for months, feeling like I'm not good enough. Turns out I'm worth quite a bit more than she thought in more ways than one. Am I the asshole for serving her at her birthday party? Maybe. Do I care? Not really. Update 1, 3 days later. Wow, this blew up. Thanks for all the support and the few reality checks. Figured I'd update since things have gotten crazier. First, to address some comments. Yes, serving her at the party was petty. I know that. But after months of being told I'm beneath her, I wanted her to feel a fraction of that humiliation. Not my proudest moment, but I'm human. So, updates: Sarah showed up at my rental property at 2 a.m. Monday night, drunk and crying. Apparently, she'd been out with her sister, who finally told her about my inheritance and asked if that's why I was so calm about the divorce. Sarah lost it when she realized I have assets she didn't know about. She was banging on the door, screaming that I tricked her and hid money from our marriage. I didn't open the door, just called her an Uber and texted her sister to come get her. Recorded everything on my doorbell camera per my lawyer's advice. Tuesday morning, she sent me a long email saying she's been under stress and didn't mean what she said, claims she was just venting and never actually wanted a divorce, said we should go to counseling and work this out. Then, in the same email, she said if I proceed with the divorce, she wants half of my inheritance and any other hidden assets because I was deceptive during our marriage. My lawyer laughed when I forwarded it to him. Apparently, her demanding assets while also claiming she doesn't want a divorce isn't a great legal strategy. The Brad situation imploded spectacularly. His wife found their Slack messages, rookie mistake, using company Slack for personal stuff. Nothing physical happened between them, but the messages were emotionally intimate enough. Lots of "my spouse doesn't understand me like you do" type stuff. Brad got fired Wednesday for violating company policy about relationships between managers and reports. Yeah, Sarah forgot to mention Brad was her direct supervisor. Sarah is now facing an HR investigation at work. She texted me begging me to tell her company that I'm lying about everything and she's the victim. I replied with a screenshot of her own social media post calling Brad her work husband and saying she was ready for an upgrade in all areas of life. My lawyer advised against it, but again, I'm petty. Her mom called again, this time apologizing for Sarah's behavior. Turns out Sarah has been telling everyone for months that I'm holding her back and she's planning to leave me for someone better. Her family just assumed she was venting and didn't take it seriously. Her dad actually said he's on my side and offered to help me move my stuff out of the house this weekend. The funniest update: remember how I said my equity vests next month? My company announced another acquisition yesterday. The buyer is offering a 40% premium on our current valuation. My 2.8 million is now looking more like 3.9 million. Sarah doesn't know about this yet. I'm sure she'll find out eventually, but for now I'm enjoying the peace. My lawyer says her case for alimony is weak since she makes more than me on paper and explicitly stated she's too good for me in writing. Thanks. Email trail. I found an apartment downtown near all the restaurants she said I was too basic to appreciate. Signed a lease yesterday. Moving this weekend with help from her dad and brother, which has to sting. Still processing everything emotionally. 8 years is a long time, and part of me mourns the woman I married. But that woman doesn't exist anymore if she ever did. The mask just finally came off. Next court date is in 2 weeks. I'll update again after that. Update 2 weeks later. Court date was yesterday. Buckle up because this was a wild ride. Sarah showed up, dressed like she was going to a funeral, complete with waterworks ready to go. I wore the same embarrassing suit she always mocked. Petty? Yes. Worth it? Also yes. Her lawyer opened with a sob story about how Sarah was manipulated into saying things she didn't mean and how I'm vindicatively hiding assets. The judge asked for evidence of hidden assets. Her lawyer presented screenshots of my LinkedIn showing I work at a tech company. That was it. That was their smoking gun. My lawyer presented her emails explicitly stating she wants a divorce because she's too good for me, text messages where she detailed her demands and said she can't wait to take him for everything, social media posts about upgrading her life and finding a real man, the email where she simultaneously claimed not to want a divorce while demanding half of my inheritance. The judge actually had to pause to compose himself after rent plea. Then came the bombshell. Turns out Sarah opened several credit cards in the last 6 months and racked up about $45,000 in debt, buying designer clothes and jewelry to fit in with her new executive lifestyle. Under state law, that's marital debt. She wanted me to pay half. My lawyer countered with proof that she explicitly hid these purchases and cards from me, including having statements sent to her office. The judge was not amused. The temporary orders: I keep the rental property, inheritance. She keeps the house for now, but has to refinance in her name only or sell within 90 days. No alimony for either party. The $45,000 debt is hers alone since she concealed it. We each keep our own vehicles and personal accounts. Sarah lost it. Started ugly crying and saying this isn't fair. She gave me the best years of her life. The judge reminded her that she's the one who filed for divorce and stated in writing that she's evolved past the marriage. But wait, there's more. After court, I went to the house to get some things. Per the temporary order, I have access for moving purposes. Q found Brad's car in the driveway. Sarah wasn't home yet, so I knocked. Brad answered my door in his boxers. I just laughed and took photos. Texted them to my lawyer with, "Is this adultery relevant?" He replied, "Christmas came early." Sarah came home while I was loading boxes and saw my car. She ran inside and came back out with Brad, both of them trying to explain it's not what it looks like. Brad was just helping her through a tough time. In his underwear, at 2 p.m. on a Thursday. I didn't say a word, just kept loading boxes while they scrambled to explain. The neighbor was watching from his yard, trying not to laugh. Later that night, Sarah sent a long text about how I'm heartless for not fighting for our marriage and how any real man would have tried to win her back instead of just saying, okay. He said I clearly never loved her if I could move on so quickly. I responded, "You're right. A real man at your level would fight for you. Good luck with Brad." She called 47 times after that. I didn't answer. Her mom texted me this morning saying Sarah showed up at their house hysterical because Brad went back to his wife, who apparently is pregnant. Sarah thought he was leaving his wife for her. Her mom actually said, "I don't know where I went wrong with her." My equity officially vested yesterday. The acquisition also went through. After taxes and fees, I'm looking at about $4.1 million. Already reached out to a financial advisor. Funny how the boring it guy she was too good for is now set for life, while she's stuck with $45,000 in debt, no Brad, and a reputation at work that's toast. The final divorce hearing is in 60 days. I'll update one more time after that. For now, I'm apartment shopping in the fancy part of town she always said we couldn't afford. Turns out I can afford it just fine on my own. Final update 2 months later. The divorce is final. I'm officially single, and honestly, I've never felt more free. The final hearing was anticlimactic compared to everything else. Sarah showed up with a new lawyer, the third one, who tried to argue that my equity should be considered marital property because I was emotionally supported by Sarah during our marriage. The judge shut that down immediately, noting that Sarah herself stated in multiple written communications that I was holding her back. Final settlement. She got the house but had to buy out my equity, $80,000. I kept my inheritance property. All unvested equity and bonuses from the acquisition are mine. She keeps her debt. No alimony either way. We each kept our own 401ks and investments. She tried to cry again when the judge made it final, but it felt performative. Her mascara didn't even run. The aftermath has been interesting. Sarah got demoted at work after the Brad scandal. Not fired, but she's no longer in the executive track she was so proud of. Brad's wife did divorce him, but he's not with Sarah. Last I heard, he transferred to another office across the country. Sarah has been texting me about once a week. The messages range from angry to sad to weirdly flirty. Last week she sent, "I saw you at Whole Foods. You look good. Happy?" I didn't respond. I wasn't even at Whole Foods that day. Her family still checks on me. Her dad helped me move the last of my stuff and apologized for his daughter's behavior. Her mom sends me recipes sometimes with little notes like, "Thought you might like this since you're on your own now." Her brother invited me to his wedding next year, specifically noting Sarah won't be there because she knows what she did. As for me, I'm doing great. Bought a nice condo downtown with cash. Nothing too flashy, but it's in one of those buildings Sarah always said were goals. I kept my same car because, honestly, I like it, and I don't need to impress anyone. Started therapy to work through everything, realized I'd been dimming myself for years to make Sarah comfortable. Every raise I got, every accomplishment, I downplayed it to avoid her getting insecure. Never again. I'm dating casually. Nothing serious yet, but it's nice to meet women who don't think having ambition means putting others down. Went on a date last week where she complimented my dad car and said she thought it was practical and cute. Almost cried right there in the restaurant. The money is invested and growing. I still work because I actually like my job, but knowing I could walk away anytime is liberating, considering starting my own tech consulting firm next year. The best part? I ran into Sarah's former work friend at a coffee shop. She told me Sarah has been telling people I manipulated her into divorcing me to steal her house. The friend laughed and said, "Girl, we were all there when you said you were too good for him. You played yourself." Looking back, the birthday party serving was petty and probably unnecessary. But you know what? After years of being told I wasn't enough, it felt good to stand up for myself, even if it wasn't the most mature way to do it. To everyone going through something similar, know your worth. Don't dim your light for someone who doesn't appreciate you, and always, always get a good lawyer. I'm closing this chapter now. Thanks for following along on this wild ride. Here's to new beginnings and partners who love you for who you are, not who they think you should be. Oh, and Sarah, if you're reading this, hi, I know you stalk my Reddit. The offer still stands. You wanted a divorce from the boring it guy, and you got it. Hope it was worth it.